Phil and I were just talking about Ms. Marvel. So, welcome, everybody. What's up? It's Dante, and this is another Off the Mats Nerdcast episode with Marilyn Phil and myself. Now, Marilyn Phil has done all these with me. I do have someone that will more than likely sit with me and talk about some other comic book nerd-related stuff. I don't know when. They always say, look, they'll fill in, for a filler spot on Off the Mats. I was like, that's cool. I mean, it's not necessarily what this is about. It's about I just wanted to sit and talk shit with my friends. Whatever, but Marilyn Phil is here. Marilyn Phil, this is your gig. But you might get replaced every so often for some stray person. Like just a stray person off the street. Like, hey, what are you doing today? Nothing? You want to do a podcast with me? Come fucking find Marilyn Phil. So this episode we're going to talk about Moon Knight. But before we get to Moon Knight, we'll talk about Ms. Marvel. So y'all got to sit through that real quick. And I forgot what we were saying before I hit record, but...
I was just saying, I was comparing Ms. Marvel, because I haven't seen it yet, and you said you started watching it. Comparing it to CW, does it skew, target audience lower than the CW stuff? Because the CW seems to be a mix for there's DC stuff.
I feel like the CW is kind of like that teenage angst group. I don't think this is that.
Okay.
I think this is the preteen.
Okay. Because how old is she supposed to be in the show?
She's a junior in high school.
Okay.
So I think this is that age where it's like the age of innocence, the ideal of innocence. It's like, it feels like when I was 13 and I was starting to realize, wait a minute, I have boners, but I'm still wholesome. And that's what I think this is in that regard as well. Where it's like you're watching it and you can't help but notice the overwhelming optimism. Mm-hmm. So when I watch CW shit, it's like, as soon as that shit starts, it's like doom and gloom, period. All right, cool. Now I don't mean period like period. I mean like period like blood coming from the vagina, period. Because that's what I always get whenever I watch those fucking shows. It's like, oh my God, like I'm so teenage angry. Puberty. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, who fucking cares? I hate the CW dude so much. I like the first season of The Flash. That shit was great. Yeah, the rest of that shit could eat my balls.
I like the first season of The Flash and the first two seasons of Arrow. And that's basically...
Oh, that cute chick on that one side.
Are those some of the people for tonight?
No, well, I mean, the fights are on now, but...
They're both pretty. I mean...
Nah.
No?
that one's pretty. That other one's like, she beat the shit out of me, I'm sure. So I wouldn't... Oh, she won. I didn't want her to win. She ain't cute.
That is going for the certain persuasion there.
She look like she got a dick. It's not Fallon Fox, y'all. Don't worry. I'm not attacking trans people. Only Fallon. Anyhow, sorry. You were defending CW. It's still trash.
I liked a few things on there, and because I think they do a mix of writing in some random stuff from the comics that will get the hardcore viewers in for a little bit, but it's mostly like teen to 20-year-old is their audience, and that's why it skews so much. They throw so much of that stuff in when all I'm there for is really the overarching story, because I know the general plots to those.
So I think with Ms. Marvel, and just the little bit that I've gathered from what I've seen today, is that obviously it'll be connected to an overarching story. The Marvels will be coming out next February.
Yeah, maybe? I think it's early next year, I think.
So it'll likely connect to that. Mm-hmm. She's a big fan of Captain Marvel, as it's explained. And I think, again, it will have the overarching story that it connects to, but it'll still be this story that's kind of geared towards, that younger teenage crowd. So, like with lots of colors, almost like Joel Schumacher directed it, like he did with Batman and Robin and Batman Forever. Yeah. Like, not so much Lost Boys with the shirtless sax player.
Wait, did he direct Lost Boys as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey,
that tracks. That tracks.
It explains the sax player.
Out of those three movies, I like Lost Boys the best, probably, but yeah.
But no, I think it's a cute show, and I'm gonna watch it. But it's one of those things where I'm not going out of my way to watch it.
Yeah.
Like if we're sitting here, it's like, oh shit, what else do we have to watch? Well, we got Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I gotta watch The Boys and Obi-Wan before I watch Ms. Marvel.
We got The Boys. We got Survivor. We got Undone and Ms. Marvel.
You can watch a couple of the old Predator things before we do the Predator thing again.
I ain't watching no Predator. Y'all gonna talk about Predator, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey man,"
Joe and I will talk about it. Dante will be a spectator.
We're like, "This shit is dumb." Fucking aliens hunting people. This shit is dumb. When's that other show come on? Prey. Yeah, I want to watch that. And I'm like, this shit is dumb too.
I think that'll be good.
Hey, I'm interested in it. Mm-hmm. Is it August 5th? I think?
Yeah, August 5th.
I go to court on August 4th. So.
Oh, you all right?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fucking great, son.
Okay.
Why is all right? Nah, something at work happened. I wasn't even involved, but.
Okay, so you have to show up.
Some cute cop showed up to pick up a thumb drive, not a thumb in the butt, but an actual thumb drive with like footage. And since I was the one that signed over the thumb drive to it, I have to go to court. I don't even know what the fuck's on the thumb drive.
Okay.
I hope it's not some shit like Pineapple Express. It's a murder. Now they hunt me and James Franco down. She was goofy. And Amber Heard.
Amber Heard and James Franco are probably excommunicado from the public for a while.
James Franco, yeah, he dropped off the face. Like,
yeah, after he openly admitted in the trial, he's like, yeah, sure, yeah, I had sex with my students.
He's like, I'm trying to find some 17-year-olds. Have you seen any? James, you can't ask that out loud. Oh, my bad. I'm looking for some 19-year-olds. Like, fuck.
I mean, yeah, he was teaching college, but.
All right. So anyhow, we're here to talk about Moon Knight. I don't remember a whole lot because I watched it and then like moved on with my life. But I remember I enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. I remember.
You want to do a number score in general?
Yeah. What am I doing? What like Phil? You gotta keep me straight here.
Dude, I'm trying to keep you back on track because we usually start off with that.
Yeah. So let's go with our score 1 through 10. I'm gonna give it an 8. I enjoyed it a lot.
Okay, I agree with you. I think it's an 8.
Like I like just the way that it was shot. Mm-hmm. I like the style and everything. I like how when he flash to someone else, it goes blank and then it comes back and business was done.
Case in point with that, that's how I feel Banner should be treated in the films with Banner's personalities, and they'll never do it. But
because they're doing it with Moon Knight.
Yeah, they're doing it with Moon Knight, and it's like
that guy. Like,
Banner should have been handled that way, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, fuck that guy now. Like we moved on from Ed Norton.
But even with the Ruffalo version
and Eric Bana, fuck that guy too.
Yeah, I don't really like the Eric Bana version.
Did. I think Eric Bana was like, man, fuck that movie. That movie was trash. Who was the lead in that one? It was like, it was you. Like, fuck. Was I high?
The only thing I think that was perfect for that film was Nick Nolte as the dad, because he was crazy.
Nick Nolte,
but Nick Nolte is basically just playing himself. Yeah. So
he's perfect in everything he does. I don't care. He and Gary Busey. Yeah. I would watch a buddy cop reality show with those two on coke, and let me tell you, I won't be disappointed. Like Gary Busey, man, he's a fucking national treasure. Like we need to save this. We need to protect.
He needs to do more commercials for Amazon Fire Stick. He's like, fuck Gary Busey. Hello light. Hello pants.
I bet you he showed up on set and they didn't even know. They were like,
they didn't have lines for him. He just shouted out shit and they recorded it.
They were scripted like tell him he's not. It was like he's not supposed to be.
He's like, Gary, you're not supposed to be here today. Shut up, man.
Just let him do it.
Just let him sit in the chair and shout stuff.
Just leave him alone. They're like, oh my god, that was fucking incredible. Like send it. But yeah, I liked everything about it. I did get lost kind of in the middle for a brief second. Mm-hmm. I think it was because I was lacking sleep. So when we were watching it, I was kind of in and out of it.
You were.
But because I had to go back and rewatch. I was like, yo, when the fuck did they shoot this dude? Like, because when you get to him like coming back to and the bullets popping, I was like, why you got bullets in them? Mm-hmm. I got to go back a few episodes and watch this shit now. Oh, they shot that dude. All right. But that kind of got tripped up a little bit there. But no worry. Went back, rewatched it, liked it. All the Egyptian god stuff went over my head because I'm American. We don't fucks with that shit over there. Mm-hmm. The only God we got here is God. Donald Trump.
Oh, my God. It'd be a fuck you, Dante episode. Dante just broke character. He's laughing too hard.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right.
Dude, that was all the rails.
Trying to do that with the straight face, and I couldn't.
Dude, this is right after the trial and everything.
So I accidentally caught that.
So I the only thing I caught was like was it Kimball's review of it because he was cracking jokes.
I was watching Peacock, the Peacock Network, the other night. What did I watch? I was watching Father Figures with Owen Wilson and the fucking guy from The Hangover with the busted tooth. Fucking bad movie. Really fucking bad movie.
Oh, really? Okay.
Such a bad movie. But I had to watch it a second time to confirm that was a bad movie. And yeah, it's really fucking bad. But as I was trying to switch to go watch wrestling, I accidentally went back to live broadcasting, and it just went, and the January 6th hearing was on. I was like, well, guess we're here. let's watch it. Again, high on, I was going to say PCP, on Benadryl.
PCP, you be reacting a lot differently than Benadryl.
I was high on Benadryl, so I'm sitting there watching this shit. I was watching that shit like it was a fucking, like I had popcorn and everything. I was like, oh my God. And I took my phone, I started playing Diablo Immortal. I was like,
Benadryl and popcorn together. That's wild.
Dude, it was a wild time. Then as they're talking about it, she was like, I don't even know what they're talking about. Sarah wasn't even here, and I'm like leaning over to her side of the bed like I'm talking to her, like, what are they talking about? So, but yeah, we keep being sidetracked. My bad. But yeah, like the Egyptian stuff kind of went over my head a little bit, and I was like, you know what? It's not a big deal for me now. Later, I'll research it.
They changed basically what Amen is a little bit, but I don't think it mattered so much because they did the kind of the kaiju bit by the end, which I know some people didn't like. I was okay with.
Tell those some people to fuck off.
Yeah. So yeah, because by the end they have the whole fight, and it kind of and this is going to be spoiler heavy like usual. So
yeah. What would they expect?
So
this can't be as good as Reese. Ain't got the little Reese cup around it.
The ridges, yeah,
man. Well, it's got the ridges, but it doesn't have like the little protective like condom on it.
I don't know. You bite it. You tell me what you think. Dante's trying the peanut butter cup I brought him, the special one.
It's pretty decent. No Reese cup, but it's pretty good.
Oh, see, I'm of the mind that this is better than Reese's to me. Like, Reese's is always a good standard. I'll always buy them. But this I found, they're only at Sheetz because they're out of PA, and this is based on a PA candy company.
It tastes like real peanut butter, so it already beats Reese on that.
This I like this because the flavor quality and the smoothness of the chocolate is really, really creamy.
No, it's real smooth. Yeah, that's real good.
So if you're ever up in my area, stop by Sheetz because they have them. They have those, and they have the little blocks that are the meltaways, and they have a peanut butter chocolate pretzel.
If I'm up in your area, I'm not getting out of my car.
Oh, come on, dude. It's not that bad.
I just keep driving. I stopped in the 7-Eleven one night after Bobby's, and I was... Because to get to the 7-Eleven was this windy road, and I was like, where the fuck am I? It was foggy. I was scared for my life. And I got there, and there was this Pakistani dude there. No, like, there's nothing else around but this 7-Eleven and a red light. Like, it was a stoplight. I go in there. I bought a hot dog. And I was scared that I bought the hot dog. I was like, man, how long has this hot dog been here, dude? Has this, like, been here for weeks?
It's the 7-Eleven hot dog, dude. It's like the Seinfeld joke that the hot dog's been there since the silent era.
Yeah, but there's still some standards to it, man. And I got it and got back in my car and drove off. I had to go back down that windy road, and the truck got behind me.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, man. Then they went around. Then I started thinking, what if they went up here like in Death Proof? And like they just chilling. So I had to make sure not to fucking text and drive because I wanted to make sure if he was going to go head on with me, I want to see it. And then I was safe. I got out of there. But yeah, so I'll stay in my car next time. So yeah. But yeah, like I give it an 8. We both agree it's an 8. It was fun. Good, bad, ugly. So give me some good.
Oscar Isaac.
Yeah,
He's the best, definitely the best part of that for me. He is an amazing actor. He can pretty much do anything at this point in his career.
Couldn't save Apocalypse.
Dude, I said at this point in his career, that was a couple years ago. But yeah, dude, I feel sorry for him having to do that role.
Yeah, that sucks.
I think the costume and the makake they gave him were really restrictive with his way to do the character.
A lot of the acting wasn't with the actors.
Yeah.
And he was bummed out by that.
Yep. Yeah, I feel sorry for him. I think, in my mind, if you're going to do Apocalypse at this point, it should be a CG character with somebody doing the voice.
Yeah. Very, very simple.
Yeah.
I mean, They could have called.
He looked like a refugee from Beetleborgs.
They could have called David Ayers and were like, "So what'd you do with Suicide Squad? Word? Yeah. Like, all right, do that. No, not that. No, too much. Now it sucks. It already sucked, but it's God.
I liked the way the costumes looked. It was a good update to the Moon Knight look because Moon Knight's gone through several changes. I like the fact that they did the suit costume, and it was. Some people didn't like how it was for the different personality, but I think that kind of worked. Yeah. And it was a creative way to incorporate multiple versions of the costume in there because Moon Knight has gone through a lot of costume changes over the years since he debuted in '75, in the books anyway. So it was very cool. I liked Khonshu's look for the god. It was very cool. The other thing I loved Ethan Hawke as Harrow, and the fact even from the very beginning in the credits of the first episode where it shows him putting the glass in his own shoes and then just putting his foot down and walking with it. It's just implied how much dedication he has to his belief, which means there's no reasoning with him at all. It's just it's like the one kind of villainous outlook that you can't really talk it out and he's never going to just agree with you. Or he can't be really reasoned with. He's super dedicated. Well, if you want to take it that way,
he's like Ben Shapiro.
Dante's getting political tonight.
Just saying, he's Ben Shapiro in the Marvel movie.
So, even though it didn't really fit with the Egyptian, like the original concept of the Egyptian gods, I like the tattoo hieroglyph of the balancing scales. I think that was a cool gimmick to show his kind of ability. I also loved how manipulative he was with the other god totem people in the trial. Yeah. Even though the odds should have been stacked against him, he totally manipulated the room just by talking and convinced everybody to go against Khonshu and Spectre, which was a cool thing to see. Yeah. He was a worthwhile villain, and Ethan Hawke is a pretty solid actor.
Yeah, I agree. I think the good for this, for me, definitely the cast. I think everyone was just phenomenal. I like also, because the big concern was for this show, everyone was like, oh my God, it's going to be on Disney Plus. Oh, they're going to water it down. That's just starting to get old with me. That shit is starting to get
really old. You notice they instituted the parental controls right before it popped down.
Well, yes. Obviously that was all by design. There's other content going on there too, and that's the thing. It's shit's starting to get watered down though. It's starting to get old when people are like, "Oh my God, it's Disney-fied. It's going to be this. It's going to be that." It's like, look, dude, just shut the fuck up and watch. If you don't like it, then don't fucking like it. But they
don't prejudge it before you see it. Yeah,
they went into some tough subjects.
Yeah,
I actually teared up at one point. I was like, "Oh my God, dude!"
Yeah.
That's why he's how he is, because of the abuse. That shit, and despite it being so tough, I thought it was good, the way that was portrayed and the fact that they even went down that route.
I wish they would have stuck with that more than just the single episode, because it seemed like they went back off it pretty quickly.
You only got 6 episodes.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't really because then it becomes, what is this show really about? So, I feel like the amount that they gave us was just enough, considering we only have 6 episodes. I think also another part of what I would say is part of my good for this was the visuals.
Oh, yeah.
There's at no point that I look at something and say, oh, God, it's so overwhelmingly fake. It's like, it's a fucking TV show, so the shit's not real. But they did things in a way where you almost get lost in it, where you feel like, damn, this is really fucking good. Oh, shit. The first episode, when he's in the truck.
Oh, the ice cream truck, yeah. That was cool.
And so Sarah and Sophie was watching with us. We let her, watch, R-rated material and stuff like that. Sometimes porn gets a little creepy and weird, but, we never know she's in the room when that's on. I hope people don't fucking isolate that part. Dude, there.
Oh my God.
But no, she was normally she's on her iPad when we're watching like anything on Disney Plus. It was weird that she didn't really give a fuck about Ms. Marvel. She was like,
Really?
fuck this show.
Okay.
It was the first episode.
Okay.
So she hadn't even, and she wanted to watch some.
Has she made the connection that's the character from the comics or the cartoon or anything?
So I don't think she's really, like she hasn't really even seen anything with Captain. Or,
oh, okay.
Ms.
I thought she
Marvel
knew the
on it.
character already. No.
No, she knows like all the DC, like the Teen Titans, like that's her jam right there. It's like, all right.
Is she still into
relax.
Spider-Gwen at all, or no?
She recognized Spider-Gwen. She likes Spider-Gwen, but she's not watching a whole lot with Spider-Gwen. She's
Gotcha.
watching mostly the Teen Titans stuff. But we're all watching the scene where he's in the ice cream truck, and when it's now going backwards, it's like, oh no! And Sophie got it. So I was like, oh shit!
And she got super excited.
Sarah didn't catch it. I turned, I was like, hey! And Sarah was like, what? I was like, did she say shit? I was like, yes! Like, this is like days off of her saying, is that a fucking bee?
Oh,
So,
no.
This was all kind of in the same pocket.
Started picking up that lingo.
We had to tell her, like, look, there's some grown-up words and there's some, like, words you can and can't say. And the thing is, it's like, she was 5, so it's hard for her to navigate what those words are. So,
Yeah.
for, like, the rest of the day, she wouldn't talk. Cause she was
Oh,
like,
no. She's like, I don't want to say the wrong
thing.
thing.
So I was like, just continue
Dude, you got
talking.
her watching R-rated shit. They're going to say stuff like that.
I mean, we were watching Die Hard the other morning. Just watching motherfuckers get shot. No, she wasn't watching Die Hard with me. But yeah, that I felt like all that was good. I think the fucking series overall was good. Period.
Yeah, I love the personality flips, like flipping back and forth.
Yeah, that was a lot of
It
fun.
was very cool. And I love rooting for Steven as like the regular guy who has no fucking clue what's happening to him.
Yeah, I just
He's like the normal dude.
just like watching. I was like, okay, like oh, there it is again. There's another change.
I thought it was pretty brilliant to have him be kind of the focal point at the start of the series. Like,
Yeah,
he's just a regular dude trying to go to work.
A lot of people were upset about that too.
Yeah.
They didn't like it. And it's like that's the thing. A lot of people don't like a lot of shit, so a lot of people need to shut the fuck up.
But I think it was important to ground him in reality before you got too off the rails with the God stuff, because you were going to get to that eventually. But to ground him in reality is just like a regular guy trying to go to work, and all this shit keeps on happening to him. He doesn't know why.
Yeah, yeah. So now we got to get to the bad. Any bad?
I think the jumps got a little predictable at the end, or like halfway through. I think that was a gag they could have done like once or twice, and then where they jump to the all of a sudden the fighting's done, and you still have no idea what happened because they didn't show it. It was the whole thing that they did at the end of Hunger Games, whereas like, no, this fight actually you need to see it because it's part of the story. It's part of the progress of the character, and you don't get that if you don't see it. So like the one gag, like it was like halfway through, I forget which episode it was, where it hints that there's maybe a third personality. It's like, because neither Steven nor Mark is like, wait, did you do this? No. Did you do this? Then what the fuck's going on? And everybody on the rooftops wiped out. I was like, okay, that's one. And then they do it at the very end. It's like, no, the end you kind of need to show because you already pulled that rug once. Now you're trying to do it again to save yourself a little bit, and I don't think that really worked.
So to defend that though, with them doing the post credit and showing the third personality being Jake, I think it does work. But I think maybe they should only did it the one time.
But I disagree with how they did the end. Like I like that scene, but that should have been the end of the show, not a post credit scene. I think that was a poor wrap up.
I think it was fine as a post credit, just because that's one of those things where it's like, okay, it leaves you wanting more. Like, and I mean, whether you say post credit or end, I mean, all the same, it is the end of the series. And I think with a lot of these Marvel properties, when they do post credits, I mean, it's all the same with any of them though. Whether that post credit comes, at the very end of it or right before you get to your credits, it's still a scene. They're all the same, and it's that little bit of extra something to send you away with. Because I mean, I can't imagine what they would have sent you away with if not that.
Well, generally, prior to this, the post-credit scenes have been used to catapult to something else or hint at something else, and this doesn't really do that. It just wraps up the show.
I mean,
it hints there's another personality, but that could just be the end of the show. It doesn't hint at something else that's going on.
Well, right now with Moon Knight itself, it's kind of right now we can assume is its own self thing. There are hints at other things that we were certain connects outside of it, but there's no confirmation that this is it for Moon Knight. I'm certain there's going to be more. I mean, it seems like it did well. It seemed like it was popular. They're not just going to let this go. And I think, they figured it was going to pick up at the end, which is why they put that there. Because it's like, okay, now we got your attention. Now here's this. Now you can sit and wonder if we're going to come back with a second season, or we're going to put them into something with Blade, or we're going to put them into something with Black Knight.
But they could have easily hinted at those characters. And
no, you don't have to always give everyone everything. You can just give them like a little crumb. Like, here, now sit there and think about it for like a couple years. Figure it out, bitch.
Okay. I just don't see it connect to anything else with that.
Oh. And that's the point, though. It's like you may not see it connect to anything else right now, but as it comes back around, then it is there. Again, you don't have to have it like in your face to connect. It can just be as simple as like a little hint that might not seem like it makes it. Fuck the fucking entire Eternals movies is like basically a giant ass post credit scene. It's like, what the fuck does this connect to? This shit is dumb. And then I'm sure it'll pay off later. I bought all the figures. They're $11. I could have saved myself $66, but nah, they're $11, not $25. So fuck it. They got my attention. I went back and watched the movie. Still kind of a tough watch, but it wasn't a bad movie. Just if you connect it to all the other shit, is a bad movie. It's a good movie by itself. I think Moon Knight and its post credit was all good. It was all good together. Rub my nipples. My bad for it would be there's only 6 episodes.
Yeah, I think it should. This is one show that should have been longer. Because
I needed 8.
Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, this show could have been so much more.
I think
than it was.
I think 8 episodes, at least for me, is a good sweet spot for series in general. Because you're not pulling in filler stuff, but you're not rushing like you would be with the 6 episode series. Because the trauma stuff. If they had
that more, episode and the hospital, that to me is what should have been the show encompassing. Like you could deal with all the other fantasy stuff as an aside instead of that having that be the main thing. I think it was way more interesting to see him in the hospital wondering what's reality and what's not. That was a way more interesting way to take for the character to me.
I like that they did what they did because, again, it grounds them, and then it puts you in this game of what's real, what's not. Now, if they had 2 extra episodes, we could have explored that a little bit more.
That's why I wish they would have extended that and had the other stuff be a little bit less based on the time frame that they had.
I always feel like 6 episodes just doesn't do anything justice because, again, you have some stuff that needs a little bit more fleshing out. I think the hospital, honestly, should have gotten much, much more. The trauma stuff, I think, was fine where it was, but I think the hospital stuff needed a little bit more just because that is Moon Knight. That is like you're always trying to figure out, like, well, like, who's who, what's going on? Is this reality? Is it
or not? Yeah.
Because it got to a point with me even watching, I was like, I don't even know what the fuck's going on now.
I think that the way they shot it, and it was supposed to be disorienting at least somewhat.
And I like,
which was an interesting way to do it.
Everything about it I enjoyed in that aspect. I think just, again, if they gave us 2 more episodes, I think it would have been fleshed out a little cleaner. If it given 2 more episodes and it hit those points, this would have been a 10 for me. Because giving it an 8, I felt like I really, really enjoyed it. I just don't think it was strong enough to give a 9 because we didn't get enough of the institution. And then had we gotten a little bit more of that, it would have been a 9 or a 10 for me. But
so as it played out the way it did, it ends up falling behind Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So it's probably my second favorite Disney Plus. But if they had done what we were just saying, it probably would have been my top Disney Plus Marvel thing.
I should be writing these scores down because I don't remember my other scores are, and I'm not going to go play the episodes back. I don't like listen to I have to edit some of these. I don't edit ours because it's like, fuck it, whatever makes it. So if I say something fucked up, oh well.
They'll just put the fuck you, Dante thing at the
beginning.
Oh yeah,
these always get that because they already know what time it is. As soon as they hear that, people know to just turn it off. They're like, fuck this guy. I'll listen to this one. But it's like with this one, it just felt. I've been anticipating this one too. Like,
so have I.
I'm not even big into Moon Knight.
Yeah, neither am I. But as soon as they cast Oscar Isaac, I was like, oh man, this is going to be awesome.
I love that dude and everything.
He's so
Except
good
for
at everything he
Apocalypse.
does. Yeah, except for Apocalypse.
And I still go back and I watch Apocalypse though.
Yeah, I haven't watched that since we saw it in the theater, man.
I watch it because I hate watch it. I watch it
That's a rough
just
watch,
to get
man.
mad. I watch and I get angry and I'm ready to like go out and like fight people and I go to jiu-jitsu and get my ass kicked. I'm like, fuck. God damn it. Again.
The only part I like in that was the Metallica song because in the 80s, and that's it. But that's because I'm a fan of the band.
I'd be mad then. I'd be pissed as shit. Like, why the fuck y'all put them?
Because they never let their music get used.
Exactly.
I was like, this is a poor choice, guys.
Poor choice that week. They're like, hey, Lars.
And I like what's her name? Look at even though she was a trash Psylocke, her look at Psylocke was perfect.
I liked her and Alexandra Shipp. I like Alexandra Shipp as Storm. I like Olivia Munn as Psylocke. I love the look for both of them.
Yeah, the look for them was, but the fact they had almost zero dialogue and they had no real character. It was bad.
Like, I don't know. Fuck all that. Anyhow, let's get to some ugly on the movie.
So my ugly is what we disagree on, the ending. So I disagree with how that ended. I think that should have been the end cap of the show. If you're going to do anything after that, hint to something else like Midnight Suns or whatever.
My ugly is your filling on.
That's fine. Dude, we don't have to agree on everything. Come on.
No, and that's the thing. It's like I don't think we're like most of them. We don't necessarily disagree, but we do have like
we come from different perspectives. Yeah. Which is why we do the show.
I do the show. I just like talking to you, Phil.
Oh yeah, dude. I like bouncing ideas off you.
I want to be honest. Sometimes I just want to turn on the microphone, like Phil, just talk. Let's talk about some shit. Let's talk about these fucking peanut butter cups.
Yeah, we should do just a random off the cuff episode one day.
I do want to do the one episode. I don't know if I mentioned it on air or if I mentioned it off air. I want to go back and look at the MCU trailers.
Oh, just the trailers?
And then
go through them?
After we go through one trailer, we stop and we talk about our feelings and our thoughts.
Okay.
Like a couple minutes on that.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Go to the next trailer and just do that.
Because there are a shit ton of them now.
Yeah. Well, I actually sat through and watched all the trailers.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of them in a long time.
It was a couple hours.
Yeah.
It was like a 2-hour ordeal.
We just set aside a day for that shit.
But it was fun because going back and watching that Iron Man trailer, because I remember getting hyped for that. Because I was like, dude. I have no interest in Iron Man, but I love Robert Downey Jr. And I was like, damn, dude, that looks so fucking good. But we're coming off at this point, we're coming off like, Ang Lee's Hulk. Yeah. We're coming off of Daredevil, Ghost Rider. It was like, God damn it.
I don't know, man.
Like, now they're going to fucking do Iron Man? Fuck. And then you watch it and it's like, oh my God, holy shit. This Iron Man was good as shit. My dick is hard right now. Like, I don't know what to do. But yeah, and then just sitting there and watching through the trailers, it's fun. That after it was all said and done, Disney ended up buying Marvel Studios right before Avengers came out, and they made their $1 billion off of it, which is good because John Carter lost them $1 billion.
Yeah, which I actually like that movie, but it did not do well.
Sarah enjoyed the movie as well. And she watched it. She was like, dude, it's really good. You should check it out. Yeah,
it's a good science fiction story. And Taylor Kitsch did a good job. It's just after that movie bombed, he got critically panned by everything. Like, he hasn't done any major films since then. He was
getting panned for everything before that.
Really?
Yeah, because he was Gambit in X-Men.
Yeah, that's true. But
X-Men Origins.
I thought he had done some other stuff.
Yeah, Friday Night Lights.
Oh, was it?
Like the TV show.
I thought he did a whole bunch of shit.
Not that I'm aware of. It was almost like every time he got attached to a project, the project like faltered.
Damn. Okay.
But I think, and that was supposed to be a trilogy, and that sucks because it sounds like it was good. I just think
nobody's touched that property until then, and now nobody will touch it for a long time because it didn't do well.
Meanwhile, they did multiple Fantastic Four films, 2 Ghost Rider films. Yeah. They did Elektra after Daredevil. It's like, really? Really?
You won't give John Carter another chance, but you do all this shit.
I mean, that shit was all Fox, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Fox was just like, just fucking make the movies. Yeah. Just make it happen. We got to keep these properties. Then,
Disney ended up having kind of like 2 bombs back to back. That and the Lone Ranger movie with Johnny Depp as Tonto. And that was terrible. That was terrible. I think that was way worse. Like, John Carter was actually passable as a movie, but that was not a good movie.
Did I watch? I don't think I watched. I listened to a podcast talking about it, and I was like, dude, that sounds fucking terrible.
Yeah, it was bad.
Like, it sounds like it was emotionally bad. Like, just so much wrong with that movie, but that's okay, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't really fucking care about Lone Ranger anyway. Fuck that guy. Fuck Tonto too. Johnny Depp played Tonto. That's fucked up. Come
Yeah.
on, son. Really?
Yeah, he played a Native American character. Had
okay.
white paint on his face.
Awesome.
It was, yeah.
Sounds phenomenal. Sounds great.
Surprised Disney got away with that one.
They didn't though.
Yeah, that's true. They didn't. It bombed.
Sucked.
It was a big summer release too, and it did not do well.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah. Well, and I think that's the other thing too. It's like Johnny Depp, Lone Ranger. Where can we go wrong? Well, I can tell you a few places. I think that was probably when Amber Heard was shitting in his bed. He was just like, just do it. But someone posted a video clip of him, and what was it? I guess maybe Alice in Wonderland, or was there a sequel to that?
There were two, yeah.
Okay, so it might have been the second one, and he's holding his hand out, and you see his fingers taped up.
Oh, really?
And then, it was like a caption like, "This makes me so sad now, knowing what we know." And I was like,
wow.
I mean, look, okay, the whole Johnny Depp thing,
yeah,
that sucks. It's fucking terrible. All right, it's fucking horrific. But he made a choice to stick his dick in crazy shit in his bed, and he doesn't necessarily sound like a superhero either himself.
No, they're both terrible people.
Yeah.
It just, I think she was just a little shittier, so to speak, than he was.
It's just like, you listen to some of the things he said, it's like, whether, she provoked him or not, it's like, look, dude, you ain't got to be involved in that. But she's a horrible human, all the same. Yeah. They're both bad humans, but
I think at this point, because of the fallout of that, he'll probably recover because he's been doing this. But I think her career is pretty much done.
Yeah,
like she'll get to play an Aquaman too, and that's about it.
It was already done.
Yeah,
like that was.
I liked her in a couple things. Like I like her as Mira in the first Aquaman, but
if I could stay awake, I probably would have liked her too. I just kept falling asleep. I want to watch that movie again. I don't.
I do like that one.
It's messed up because it's like I don't think it was a bad movie.
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't stay awake, and it could have just been I don't know. A Benadryl night.
Yeah, the only regret I have is that Jason Momoa was not born to play Aquaman. He was born to play Lobo, and they didn't cast him as Lobo. They cast him as Aquaman.
Yeah, but it's DC. You know what they do. They know that.
Uh-huh.
They're just like, just make it happen. Who does The Rock look? We put The Rock in the movie. He looks like Black Adam. Fucking make a Black Adam movie.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. Like, are you sure? Yeah, fuck it. We made a Shazam movie, right? Not yet. We'll make that first, and then do Black Adam. We can't fuck up. We can't fuck this up and do Black Adam first, and then Shazam. No, they're gonna.
I do like the trailer for it, so I'll give it a fair shake.
I mean,
I'll try to.
I'll see it eventually. As I see all these movies, I always see all these films, and they're always fun. But there's also then the question of after you see the film, it's like, is it worth me seeing another one if they were to do a sequel?
Mm-hmm.
And it all depends, because I mean, after Suicide Squad, it was kind of like, is it worth seeing a second one? And James Gunn, all right, let's check it out.
Yeah, when they switched directors for Suicide Squad, I was more in tune with the second one.
Like DC they're just a weird. Warner Brothers is weird in how they're approaching their properties, because the thing that they have that Marvel Studios doesn't have is that they have possession of all of their properties. They can do whatever the fuck they want without any like butting heads with anyone, and they choose to, drop the ball. Well, don't get me wrong, the Batman was good. I really enjoyed the Batman, but it's like you had something working. Let's recast it. We don't want to use Affleck. We want to use Robert Pattinson, which that's fine, whatever. But I just feel like, do y'all know what y'all want to do?
Yeah, it seems like
just make a Batman movie. It always makes money. Okay, it does. But then when you're playing the comparison game, because Spider-Man made $1 billion, then Batman didn't, and it's like, I mean,
it's true.
Batman still has staying power, but
yeah.
I mean, Spider-Man made $1 billion. Batman made 800,000 or 800 million.
Yeah.
It's like that's not quite $1 billion though.
Uh-huh.
And Spider-Man didn't even have the help of China.
Yeah, that's true. They wouldn't show it there.
They're like, you got to take that Statue of Liberty scene out of there. They're like, fuck you. Take your mother out of there. Like, get the fuck out my face. Keep the fucking movie. Don't open it in China. Fuck them. And what else? They did that with something else, though, too. Doctor Strange.
Oh, yeah.
There was something Doctor Strange was like, we're not going to open that shit in China. Like Multiverse of Madness. Like that, we're not going to open that in China.
Wow. What
can't remember.
I don't remember hearing about that one.
I can't remember what they wouldn't take out.
Interesting.
And the thing is, it's like they could have. It could have been easily altered for China. But like, fuck them.
I'm surprised Disney didn't. I'm surprised Disney didn't cave because China's a major market, and Disney tries to play nice with them, or they have in the past.
Disney's sick of them. They're like, bitch, fuck you. We just realized we can make $1 billion without your bitch ass fucking theaters, punk asses, amphitheaters. Watch fucking Spider-Man. Fuck out my face. And they made $1 billion. Like, oh, word? We made $1 billion. Don't open Doctor Strange there either. Oh shit, we needed them, didn't we?
Yeah, Doctor Strange didn't do quite as well as Spider-Man.
Like, I guess we should have been nice to China. Like, hey, get them on the phone, call them, ask them. Can we put this back in your theaters? Say, fuck you.
Trying to backtrack a little bit.
It's like, how about Thor? Can we put Thor in your theaters? Maybe. Like, make them naked. Done.
Like, Chris Hemsworth was going to be half naked anyway.
I will. We're gonna probably go see the new Jurassic World. I'm gonna
go try to see that tomorrow.
I'm gonna try to get a sitter, so Sarah and I can go see it maybe next weekend. Is that Father's Day?
Yeah, next weekend's Father's Day weekend.
That's wild. Father's Day is a wild day.
Yeah, that's why I said I couldn't do the Predator thing with you guys.
That's fine. That's fine.
Because I had to go see my folks.
My wife had to remind. I was like, yo, I mean, it is Father's Day weekend. I was like, the fuck is that? I was like, you're a dad.
You are a father, like, Jonte. Am I? Yeah, you have a little one running around upstairs.
You fucking like that kid. Like,
come on. Come on. It's your daughter.
Like, dude.
She's cool.
I was talking to my manager. I'm not even going to tell the story.
Yeah, you better censor yourself here, Ben.
Because you're on the air. It's fucking horrific. No. So.
Come on. You can tell me off air when we're done. If you want to get it up, if you want to talk about it, it's fine. Just don't do it on air.
Remind me.
All right.
Because, dude, this shit is, Jesus Christ. It's funny, but it's not funny. It's fucked up. But I couldn't stop laughing, which is why it was fucked up. But right. Yes, okay.
So we were at our ugly. We disagree on ugly. Did you have any other ugly?
So I think, the real ugly for me would have been more so, like the bad was it wasn't enough episodes. And I think the ugly would be that even though the scenes where they were in the psychiatric hospital was shot well and done well, I felt like it was kind of crunched.
Yeah.
Not sloppy, but it just didn't feel complete. So that would be another part of my ugly. But it wasn't enough for me to really say I hated it. It was just more like, okay.
I wish they would have extended that a lot more.
You could have given us so much more here and really fleshed out this character story. And I feel like the story was fleshed out pretty well as is, but I felt like we could have just really gotten to feel for it, which is why I feel like there will be more, because it's like there's
I hope so. Like, they haven't announced anything, but I hope they do. Well, I think this deserves another shot.
When we look at the Disney Plus shows, I mean, like, so we'll take WandaVision. We know it's confirmed that's not coming back for a second season, but really, where can you go for a second season for a WandaVision? Now, if they did a Wanda or Vision thing as kind of that's different, but none has been announced, so we can say that's safely done. They never confirm a second season of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
They just hint at Captain America coming.
Yes, but there have been kind of rumblings of a second season for that, and they did confirm this week Thunderbolts.
Yeah, which I'm super excited for. That sounds cool.
So I would imagine if we are going to get a second season, it's going to play something
into that. There. Yeah, I think so too. Because I think the Captain America will probably lend itself to another film.
Yeah,
with him and Winter Soldier.
And then what came after that? Loki. We know Loki's coming with a second season. We know what else having a second season.
We know Marvel Zombies is spinning out of that. We know the one Witch Lady is spinning out of Wanda.
So, and even with that, it's kind of like, do we count that as like a... Yeah. So we're just talking about shows that have a definite second season coming up. And for the most part, it seems like everyone's getting a second season. For the most part. We don't know about Captain America and fucking Winter Soldier. White Wolf. We don't know if that's getting a second season, but it's leaning like they're probably going to give that a second season. I hope they do, at least so we can get some of Bucky's story further diving into that. But it seems like everyone's getting a second season for the most part, except for WandaVision. So I would imagine Moon Knight will be in that same tier where they're not going to say much of anything yet. But we got to let the cards get dealt out and see where we go.
Because I know they're doing the Halloween special that's animated this Halloween. And they already hinted that they're going to do Werewolf by Night in that. So I assume Moon Knight's going to pop in there at some point, even if it's only briefly. Because Moon Knight originally popped out of the Werewolf by Night comic when he first debuted.
Yeah. I mean, it would only make sense. Honestly, to be honest, I wish they would have done the Werewolf by Night thing and then debuted him there.
That would have been cool. I mean, that could lead to a Midnight Sun stuff or anything else, basically.
But there's a lot that they can do. And I'm here for all of it. Whether it be... Like, I'm not in a rush. Like, everybody's still crying about the mutants and X-Men. I'm not in a rush.
Yeah, whatever. They'll definitely slow play that because the X-Men are a huge profit for them. There's no way they're going to rush that. Same with Fantastic Four.
I mean, the sounds of Fantastic Four is coming first.
Yeah.
And then I would say, I think the thing with X-Men is, like, how do you introduce them? Like, well, first off, you got to think, how do they fit into this world? Where did they come from? But then also, what story do you give us? Because we're in we're in the 21st century. You can't use the Magneto.
The classic version of him being, unless you manipulate his powers to make him like not age, which they haven't really done in the books. So
I mean, and that's the thing. It's like there have been rumors a couple years back, and I hope that these rumors aren't true. I think it was just people shit talking because you know how internet rumors get started. Yeah. It's just like somebody types something because everybody has a website now, even me, bjj.wiki. But I actually don't go to that website right now; it's down. I'm actually about to close it down and restart and make things better. But the rumor that I heard a couple years back, pre-COVID, so a few years back, was that they were going to make Professor X and Magneto black. And then play off
in the films, in the new upcoming stuff. Okay.
And it's like, I don't want them to do that. Number one, because it's just, why? Number one. Number two, as a black man in America, and yes, I'm all for representation, but let's not take characters that were originally one thing.
Yeah, because at his heart and soul, Magneto works because of his Jewish past.
Yes.
And the fact that he was born that way into Nazi Germany.
And it's like there's got to be some way, potentially, to maybe not even go that far back. Let's go back to the Berlin Wall. Like,
that's true. That was in the 80s. Yeah,
you can still kind of go back and play from that point. We're still not too far off. There are things they can do, and I'm sure they've got. I mean, I know they've got tons of good writers working on this, but it's just like I'm just curious as to what they're going to do because. You can't take it back from the fucking 40s, 30s and 40s. Yeah, because the motherfucker's pushing 100 at that point. And
it's kind of like how they've reinvented Frank Castle so many times. Like in the modern books, he's not necessarily in the Vietnam War anymore. In his history, he's in one of the Gulf Wars or one of the Afghan conflicts in the 90s.
I wonder. Also, like I would like it if they didn't have Wolverine.
In the first movie, yeah, I think that would kind of be appropriate because Wolverine's wasn't introduced to the X-Men for years.
Yeah, I mean,
it would be kind of cool to see the original five as the original five.
That's what I'm
with hoping. Xavier, yeah.
And the thing is, and even if they do the first movie, the original five, second movie, the Giant Size, which does include Wolverine, because you'll get a lot of people. I think that's the thing that kind of plucks my nerve, and it's not even just this modern age of comic book fandom. Because a lot of us come off the 90s with the Jim Lee era, but also the animated series. So people, a lot of people know Rogue, they know Storm. A lot of people clamor for Morph.
Dude, when everybody was hitting me up as soon as that Marvel Legend for Morph dropped, I was like, I could give a fuck about this. For me, the animated series is good. Everybody loves that, but that's because they were general audience. That's not the X-Men to me. Yeah. The X-Men are the books that I knew before that. So Morph, I was like, if they should have done anything, they should do a Mimic. That'd be way more worthwhile, which is what Morph was based on anyway. Sorry.
Phil, relax.
So I'm getting passionate, Dante. I'm getting passionate.
Relax. I had to turn your volume down just now. But no, I agree. I agree. I would much rather see a Mimic figure.
That I would buy a Mimic
easily.
And I'm not. I don't even buy all the X-Men figures.
And that Morph figure that's coming out.
Yeah,
not buying it.
Yeah,
actually, none of the animated.
I'm not buying any animated stuff.
I'm not getting any of those because honestly, the reason why the set that I have there in the glass case, that based off the blue and gold team, but initially what I was doing was trying to get the animated series team.
Okay.
And then I was like, well, we're already here. Let's just go with the gold and blue. and then just round it out.
Did you get all the AOA ones with the build?
All the ones that are out so far.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I think we bought them. I want to say almost all at once.
Okay.
Sarah, no, I think I got them all off. Yeah, we bought them off. I don't know if we got them off Amazon or BBTS.
Okay.
But I know we bought the entire set, probably all at one time.
Are you trying to get the new box set with
Bonebreaker?
No, the new with Long Shot, the other Dazzler, and
I don't.
And the big dude.
Mojo.
Yeah, Mojo looks pretty amazing, but I'm not in for that because I'm not a huge X-Men guy.
I don't know that I'm going to do that because I don't really like Mojo.
Okay.
But I do want Long Shot.
Yeah, see, that's a sucker punch. See, in my mind, they should have not had the Dazzler, and they should have had Spiral, and that's like the perfect set of three. If you're going to get them, you're going to get them.
So if they did Spyro, I would get the set.
Yeah, people have been clamoring for Spiral forever, man.
I'm at this point when it comes to Marvel Legends, and I was thinking about this afternoon at work. I don't know. The next X-Men wave that comes out, Siren for sure. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, I have to justify my brain, like not buying other figures.
Yeah.
Like, do I need Vulcan? No, I don't. I don't need him.
Yeah.
He's a Summers brother, but do I need him? No, he doesn't fit anything on any of these shows. Siren, she goes with X-Force. I'll probably get the other Wolverine just because I have a Wolverine collection here. Who else is it? Havoc? I'll get
Havoc and Sabretooth are the only two I was trying for.
Sabretooth is, I'm on the fence.
Because it's the original, like, Silvestri thin version.
I'm on the fence about it, but it's not a no. It's just one of those things. But then once you get to that point, if I get those four, I may as well just round it all out at that point.
That's true.
Although Darwin and Maggot, they have no...
I have no connection to any of the characters.
I'm not into them. But at this point, it's like I may as well just get the rest of them. Like the last X-Men wave, I only got Jean and Wolverine from that set.
Okay.
I might get Professor X just because I was like, I should put together like an Illuminati set. Because like I have everyone from the Illuminati. It's just a matter of, do I have spare pieces?
That would be kind of cool to have an Illuminati set up, like around a table or something with their meeting. I didn't even think about that before. Because they represent every little piece of Marvel.
And that's one of the thoughts. I was like, if I get this Professor X, because right now he's on Amazon pretty cheap. Like I can grab him, and then I got them all. Like at least spare pieces. Because I have Professor X in the case over there, but he stays with that group. And funny thing is, after Doctor Strange... Doctor Strange 2 comes out. Black Bolt, which he was $11 on Amazon.
Now it's skyrocketed, yeah.
Now it's $33.
Yeah.
Like there's no name order to be found. Like it comes up and it's like sold out. Both Professor X was like $30. Now it's up in the 50s.
Yep.
You can never find a fucking Iron Man anywhere, even though there's an Iron Man in every set. But you can never find one. Who else?
What about the Reed Richards?
Yep, his prices went up. Like it's like, oh, you fucking nut huggers.
I mean, you got to expect something like that when the movie gets out and everybody sees it. It's like, oh yeah, that stuff shoots up in price.
It's like, I want those now. And the question is like, is it collectors or is it just?
I bet you the Agent Carter one went up too. The one that was from the What If one.
So the stealth one start popping up.
Oh, did they do a stealth variant? I
saw the stealth one a while back.
I've never seen that one. Was it a special box or was it?
Yeah, it wasn't including anything. So when I saw the stealth one, it looked like it was only available in Canada.
Oh no shit.
And now it's on Amazon for $34.
Yep.
And
it's like Walgreens is all over Canada. All their shit, all the exclusives go to Canada first, and they always sell them.
And she looks the same as the Captain Carter that's up there on top of the cabinet. So there's no reason for me to get it other than to say, oh, I got it. And at that point, it's like, why? Why do I want it? Because then it's like, do I want to make that Illuminati? Not really, because they're Suicide Squad. They were gone immediately.
Yeah, I didn't care about that.
But there's a lot that's going on with the Marvel Legends that I'm just like, I think I'm done for the most part. Again, I'll get my pieces for the X-Men sets. Any movie sets upcoming, I don't know. Like I got the Mighty Thor over there, and I considered.
I'm out on. I didn't get any of those.
I considered because now they're all on Amazon at a decent price. I was like, maybe I should just go, and I was like, why? You don't have any need for it.
Yep.
Like how many Thors do I need?
Yeah.
It's like I already got a bunch of them. Add 2 more to the collection. For what reason?
The only Thor I might get is the special box one. That's the comic one.
Yeah.
Where he's got the twirling electrified Mjolnir, and that's pretty cool.
I looked at that.
It's based on the Ragnarok cyborg.
I saw it. I was into it. I was like, I think
that's probably one
I do need
buy.
a comic Thor.
Yeah.
Well, let me rephrase that. I don't need anything.
Oh yeah.
I want a comic.
Yeah.
Thor.
There's a lot of stuff I want. I'll probably get that one.
Because my initial plan was to put up the DTOF and have one shelf like X-Men, Gold and Blue. Next shelf, Fantastic Four. Next shelf, Original Avengers, and then next shelf, just some kind of miscellaneous bullshit I'll make up.
Are you trying to do a Marauders team or no, or a Brotherhood team?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I mean, if it falls in my lap, but I'm not.
Because the only way to get the Mastermind is in that dumb Wolverine box set, right?
Yeah.
That's it? Okay. That's what I thought.
I'm not into that shit.
And the only way to get the Toad is the new card one. That's based on the toy-based version.
And
Okay.
I'm kind of on the fence on that.
And those are expensive. I only got the Hulk one and the Cap ones because those are the original looks.
So Toad, what was Toad? I think it was 33 for it, I think.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm on the fence. It's like,
I don't know, when I hit you up about the Dorkside sale, I don't know if Toad was on that list or not.
It wasn't.
I know the Hulk was.
There were a few things. Sale. Yeah, I saw the Hulk, and I was like, maybe. I saw a couple things on the list, and I was like, I'm not opposed to a lot of this, but I'm also not in a rush.
Mm-hmm. The only reason I got the Hulk was because it has the ground effects with the Smash stuff. Because if the Select version, the new Select version, is a better sculpt, if they had had ground effects, I would have gotten the Select one because it's bigger. But they didn't, so I went with the... Because they're pretty much the same price, even though the Marvel Legends one is smaller. It's just the retro look.
Sorry, replying to my neighbor. So they're coming over around 9. I was like, okay, no big deal. I don't care. So, yeah, I guess that's kind of really it. I ain't really got much more to say about Moon Knight. I liked it. I hope they do a second season.
What'd you think of with the Layla character?
Like the Eric Clapton song. I fucking love that. I like the unplugged version, but the original version, that shit is so fucking powerful. I liked her. I thought she was fine. Like I said, I don't have a huge knowledge of Moon Knight and his peoples, so I felt like everything that I saw was fun. It was good, but nothing ever stood out to me as like I don't like that. It's problematic. Everyone felt fine. Everyone looked fine. Yeah, I'm trying to think. It's like, was there anyone in there that was like, God, it'd be better if they weren't there? Like, kind of like, when my mom shows up. It'd be better if she didn't show up. Like, for Mother's Day. Like, Mother's Day is always better when she's not around. So, she should have, like, stuck to it. But, no, I thought Layla was fine.
What do you think of? There's been hints that where he wakes up in what appears to be like the German town in the very beginning, that's supposed to be Latveria.
I mean,
I could kind of see that.
But the thing is with that is like, unless the producers say that or the director says that, I'm not going to dance into that game because it's like we're pulling at straws for nothing. Like when people are like, oh, the little kid in Iron Man 2 is supposed to be Peter Parker. Says who? Like, oh, the directors confirmed it. No, they didn't. No one confirmed that. Dude, I've been seeing that shit for years. And it's like, there's been no confirmation ever that was supposed to be Peter Parker. So fuck off. It was after Civil War came out. That's when people started trying to like connect that together. I was like, shut up, you fucking pricks. God, I hate people so much, dude. Like, I genuinely just dislike like the internet, like clamor group. Like, yeah, we're fans now. No, you're not. Shut up.
And I like that the Field of Reeds, which was basically like the end all, that really appeared to be very similar in concept, if it's not a direct connection to Black Panther.
Yeah, so that was
that was a cool looking concept.
Yeah.
Like, okay, they could bridge that gap if they want to.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Like looking at that, because again, no confirmed saying to it, but
it's definitely visually similar on purpose.
They could play that if they want.
And I like that when he left Steven in the sand, that Steven started to dry up and crystallize, like he almost like left his ego.
Yeah,
there or something. Like he left part of his personality. I thought that was really cool.
It's like they did a fucking great job with this show, and I'm happy about it. I don't know. Again, I should go back and find the scores for this, but I'm not. Like what my favorites were versus not. But I would say this might be my favorite. Like Falcon and Winter Soldier is up there for me. Like, but I like them all. All of the series were really good to me in their own way. So I don't compare the scores from the last one to justify my score for the next one.
Okay.
Like they're their own separate entities. Where it's like when I rate beers on Columpton.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes we have to distinguish, like, is this a party beer or is this like, are we rating this as an IPA, like a craft beer? It's like, well, no, if this is a party beer, if we're going to rate it like a Miller Lite or a fucking Modelo, then the score is going to be on a different scale because, you can't compare these to those. So I try to keep that in the same principle with these shows where they are in an interconnecting universe, but they are still their own thing where I can't judge this using, like, I can't use the WandaVision scale to judge Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Mm-hmm. I can't use that scale to judge Loki and so forth. They all have their own scale in my mind. So we run with that from there.
Couple of little minor things. I really like the fact that Steven doesn't end up just being a regular guy. Like Mark actually needs him for all his archaeological knowledge because Mark's just a soldier.
Yeah.
And Steven actually is like a fanboy of all the archaeology stuff, so he knows all of it. So Steven needs him to like open the tomb, and they end up needing each other more than you initially might think when the characters are introduced.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
I'm really mad that I didn't keep the Halloween box.
Oh no!
Because that Friday the 13th.
Does it connect?
No, but the boxes are cool, and that Friday the 13th. Wow, that's weird because that's the third Friday the 13th. So I got Friday the 13th 3D. And it's the 3D cover for the box.
I love this poster.
And then really this cool. One's the Dream Warriors.
We're looking at a NECA Nightmare on Elm Street 3 box.
But I'm mad I didn't keep that Michael Myers box.
One thing with Lloyd Grant at the very end that I thought was a cool nod to the books was the fact that when they leave the psychiatric hospital, it's the Sienkiewicz psychiatric ward, which is Bill Sienkiewicz is the artist who basically brought Moon Knight to the forefront of comics for a while. His very out-of-the-box style with how he paints is I didn't really appreciate as a child, but now as an adult, I look back at that stuff, and his stuff is amazing to see. He's one of the better artists out there. And he's extremely famous for doing very kind of avant-garde style paintings inside comics and making it a little more artistic rather than just panel-to-panel storytelling. Cool. So his stuff is way more psychological.
I feel that way with some porns that I watch. I appreciated them a lot more as a kid. Because like a teenager, because I didn't know any better. Now when I go back and watch, it's like, ugh.
Sienkiewicz is also known for doing the New Mutant stuff, which is why he was associated with the New Mutants film.
Well, there you have it.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually really, like, I go back and I always say this, like, I enjoyed the New Mutants film. It's like, I enjoyed it for what it was. Like, I didn't even think of it as an interconnecting thing to Deadpool.
No, I didn't either.
X-Men. I was just like, you know what? It's a fun film. Is it a good film? I don't know that it's a good film, but it's a fun film.
Yeah, it was fun. I think, what's her name? She was my favorite in the movie because I think she's a strong actor, but I loved her as Magic. I really wish she would have gotten her own film because I think Magic is a character that kind of deserves it with their backstory.
I think so as well, but not from Fox.
Yeah, not from Fox. I think if they could take that actor and put it in with Disney or whatever and do that character, give it some more justice, I think that would be cool. And to finally eventually get a Sinister story would be nice since it's been hinted at in the old movies several times. They've never run with it.
Yeah, I mean,
but I think that'll be a long time coming at this point.
Well, I think that's the thing, though. It's just like with Marvel Studios taking over and doing whatever they're going to do, I think a lot of ideals and properties that Fox had in motion can go out the window. Mm-hmm. And for the better, though. I think it's better just to let those go and say, fuck it, we're not, that was a terrible ideal to begin with.
And just start over from scratch.
Yeah. Because there's so much you can do with the mutant properties alone. They can be their own universe. They can be their own world. I mean, in the comics, for the most part, they, up until like recent years, like the last 15, 20 years, they were doing their own thing anyway. With the exception of a couple crossovers like Fall of the Mutants back in the 80s, things like that.
X-Men versus Fantastic Four was in the 80s. Yeah. Secret Wars is when they finally put everybody together in the middle of the 80s.
But I mean, when you get back into the 90s, you got the 80s, 90s, Extinction Agenda, Executioner's Song, Fatal Attractions, Onslaught. Well, Onslaught kind of brought it all back together.
They did Blood Ties that had the Avengers crossing over with X-Men too, with Crystal's baby, right?
They did Child's Play, which was the New Warriors and X.
Or
was it X-Men or X-Force? Might have been New Warriors and X-Force, I believe. But they have their little crossovers here and there, but for the most part, they were their own thing. They didn't need to, be propped up by other properties. The Phalanx Covenant was another fun one because that's how we got the Generation X characters.
Yep.
So when Marvel Legends starts sprinkling them in, I'll come back for that.
Yeah, there's a couple I cherry picked just for their designs. Like Chamber as a figure would be really cool to see.
Yeah, that would be.
That'll be super difficult to sculpt, but. So I have no idea when that would come out, but just as a single character, he'd be cool to see a sculpt for.
I mean, like I would get the set, but the thing is, again, I'm, let me see what what you have for the originals. I don't, because once you start getting to these later characters, like I don't know who the fuck that is.
Yeah.
And I'd need another Jubilee from that set specifically.
Oh, as a more adult character, yeah.
But yeah, with the X-Men properties of the '90s, you translate that to movies. They can do a whole lot of stuff without relying on the other Marvel properties. And the thing is, the way that we are right now as a fan base of these movies, it's almost kind of an expectation that everything has to interconnect and tie together. And that's just not true, though. You can let things live alone. You let things be without. So, but I don't think we're used to it anymore. Since 2008, everything's been connected, from one movie to the next with, post-credit hinting at the next one. It's like, oh my God. Like, at the end of Iron Man 2, you get Thor. At the end of Thor, you get, what did they hint at the end of Thor? Oh, they just showed Loki.
Yeah.
But, I wonder if we should do the post-credit, like an episode on post-credits too.
Yeah, because the post-credits end up shaping what people's impressions of, because originally the Tesseract was supposed to be the Cosmic Cube. Yeah. And by the time Thor 2 comes out, they finally hint that it is the Infinity Stones instead. They changed it. So,
a lot of fun. We got ideals. We'll make these things happen, and then we'll record them and discuss them. We'll disagree. I'll tell you you're wrong, and you'll say, Dante, it's not about right or wrong. And it's like, yeah, it actually is. And then we'll agree to disagree, and then move on with our lives. And we'll say, well, let's record another episode of something, and we'll just keep dancing this dance. But yeah, that's it.
Well, upcoming stuff. What are you looking forward to?
So honestly, I'm not really looking forward to anything, to be quite honest.
I'm very curious about She-Hulk.
I'm along for the ride at this point. Whenever I think about what am I looking forward to, it's like expectations. That's in the same pocket as looking forward to. Like Spider-Man No Way Home, I was looking forward to in their expectations. Doctor Strange, looking forward to their expectations. Moon Knight, I was looking forward to it in expectations. But right now I'm at a point where, like with Thor.
Yeah, I have zero expectations for that film.
I'll see it. I don't care one way or the other. I do like Jane Foster as Thor. So I do kind of want to, because in the comic they played it as a mystery. Who is the mighty Thor? And they didn't
for a little while.
So obviously we can't do that because it's already been revealed. It's Jane Foster. It would have been fun to have that story somehow play out, but you obviously can't.
My only curiosity for that film is how Christian Bale will do in that movie after being directed by Taika Waititi.
I do have an expectation. I expect him to kill Thor.
The Hemsworth version? Okay.
Yeah. I just feel like you got Gore, the God Butcher, and this dude is out there slaying motherfuckers. I got a feeling they're gonna kill Thor.
So you think when they do as Guardians of the Galaxy for the third Guardians film, that it's going to be Jane in there rather than Hemsworth?
Potentially.
Okay.
Well, because he's already with the Guardians here.
That's true.
So I don't think we're going to need him for the third Guardians, because that's supposed to be completely. There was supposed to be, supposedly, I don't know now because things change and rumors come about, but it was going to have a lot to do with Drax and Rocket.
Okay. Because they originally had the title as Guardians of the Galaxy, didn't they?
I don't think that was an official thing.
Okay. I thought
people were just saying it because Asgard and Asgardian.
Okay.
But
because I know Warlock is definitely coming in there. They've already cast him.
Yes. But the thing is, if they're here in Thor, or you got Quill, Rocket, Groot, if you've got them, it's like, okay, they're going to give people their fill of that. Just kind of give them that taste. Like, okay, we're done with it. Now let this motherfucker go, live his best life, which I think it will come to an end. I'm only saying that because I like death and destruction in these fucking movies. Because when motherfuckers get all happy and excited, it's like, yes, kill him.
And there's some quick hint in the trailer of Beta Ray Bill, isn't there? Because I've heard people talking about it.
I haven't. So I only watched the one trailer.
Okay.
I
have to go back through and see it again because I didn't catch it. But I heard multiple people talking about that. I was like, really? Okay. That would be cool to see.
That'd be cool.
If they do a Beta Ray Bill to take a Stormbreaker.
I would really like for them, and I hope they don't kill Chris Hemsworth's character. Let me backtrack. I would like to see it, but I hope they don't do it. I think it would add, because when you look at the Thor character, that character's had so much growth and change from the first film to Avengers.
He's kind of had the most out of any of the original Avengers characters.
For sure had the most.
Yeah.
And the thing is, where do you go with him from here? What more can you do with him other than kill him? So
I don't know.
Let's just kill Thor. It'll be cool. I mean, not for him, but for me, just watch him. But at the same time, if they don't, I'd be happy too, because they can utilize him elsewhere. But that's the thing. If you keep him, where does he go? What do you do with him?
I don't know.
When they're like kind of leaning towards this new Avengers team somehow, some way, and Thunderbolts. It's almost like everyone else is gone except for Thor and Hawkeye. So what do you really? Well, and Banner.
Well, Banner's still there,
yeah. But it's like, are you really building a team around these three? Or are you building off the new characters
that you're introducing, and maybe have those other three guest stars or something?
We don't really have an idea of what's going to happen with the next Avengers team-up film, if we're even getting one.
Yep.
I mean, imagine we are, because it's a property name now that everyone knows and loves. Whether it be Young Avengers, New Avengers, Dark Avengers, we're getting something with Avengers in it. X-Men versus Avengers
some
versus
capacity,
X-Men. And that's the thing too. It's like if we get to the point where we have Avengers versus X-Men, then what do we? What team is that they're going against? Because in that true. You had Iron Man, you had Captain Marvel.
Yeah. In the comics, there were a lot of the mainstays that we don't necessarily have in the movies anymore. So
yeah, it's just I mean, you got obviously Sam as Captain America now. You have that team. I mean, and it's the thing, you have that team that's similar to the original, but slightly different, because you got a new Captain America, you have a new Black Widow out there, you have She-Hulk, you have a young Hawkeye, you have Riri Williams showing up in Black Panther 2 upcoming. So you have pieces, but that just kind of speaks to the bigger overarching world that they've built, where like I said, we can kind of get away from connecting these things now and just let people be great on their own. We don't necessarily have to say, all right, now that we've done this movie, it connects to that movie. Like, no, just let that movie be what it is, unless it's needed. Again, if they say we're going to do a Midnight Suns, yeah, you got to start kind of peppering those things together. If you say we're going to do Young Avengers, start peppering it together. If we're going to do the Champions, Yeah, and
they've already started. I mean, they've given origin points for some of the other characters that they haven't been named yet. Like, was it the young Black Captain America?
Yeah,
the young guy that's from and also Wanda's kids.
Yep,
the other two.
Loki, the young Loki.
Yep.
Who else? There was someone else that they put out there.
And they were going to have Ms. Marvel, of course, too.
Kate Bishop, Ms. Marvel. Is she part of Young Avengers?
Bishop's been part of Young Avengers.
I'm talking about Ms. Marvel.
No, Kate Bishop. Oh, Ms. Marvel was part of the Champions.
Okay, yeah, I know that. That's what I'm saying. It's
I think Kate Bishop's been on both the Young Avengers first, and now she's on Champions.
Yes, I've seen that. So there's a lot that they have to work with. You got Jane Foster's,
and you still have the White Vision basically running around. That could be the new emotionless version of Vision, like he was in the '90s.
Yep.
So
that's dude. I remember when they killed him, and
they have an epic collection that I thought about getting of Avengers West Coast that goes through that story. I was like, that's the story. I've never read it all the way through. I know bits and pieces of it. When it's called Vision Quest, and they go to get him, and Wanda finds all him torn apart, and they try and rebuild him without the original Human Torch parts anymore, and now he's like emotionless. He has no connection to her at all. It's bizarre.
There was when Thanos took the stone from him, and he drops his body. I was like, dude, there's your opportunity to bring that motherfucker back.
And they did it in WandaVision. It's cool.
They got it, and it's like, okay, now he's out there. Now what?
Yeah, now what he's gonna
make it happen.
Yeah, he has no human connection anymore. He's like totally emotionless.
Yeah, it's goddamn exciting. It's an exciting time, I tell you.
Yep.
Real quick before we get out of here, I've got 3 of my slasher Mount Rushmore. I know you're gonna say Pinhead, so put a pin in that. Mm-hmm. I need someone else. I need a 4th.
A 4th. So
we got Leatherface.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Chucky.
Chucky. Okay.
We've got. We'll throw Pinhead in there, and we've got Ghostface.
So, what about you're not going to do Freddy or Jason?
I got Freddy.
Okay.
Freddy's right here. Jason's up there.
So
Michael's up there.
Another one behind, aside from those. Oh shoot.
It's tough,
dude. Aside from those shit.
Because honestly, I
have to really think.
I don't have a connection to any of them. That's why I'm like, dude, I got to do a 4th. You can't Mount Rushmore 3. Fuck is that? Mount Rush? Less? Like.
So you said no to Pinhead, or?
I don't have a real connection.
Yeah, you don't have a real connection.
And I'm gonna be honest, I kind of fucking hate Leatherface.
But Leatherface is a big one, dude. He's like the original.
He's the original, but he's kind of like he's the original, but he's cult. Original.
Yeah.
And that's what gets weird about it, because it's like I don't even fucking like.
What about the tall man from Phantasm? Because that one started in like '79, and they did so many Phantasm movies. I slowly went through those on Amazon. I think I saw up through 5.
They're on Shudder too. You should go log in and check it out. Maybe I'm trying
to think. I'm trying to think of other ones that have lasted a long time. He's one that's lasted, and I actually like. I know those are films that are very low budget and they're cheesy, but I like the creativity of those films, and the fact that every film they hinted at something else, but they didn't give you all of it, so it made you like curious about what was going on. I found those films more interesting than the Chucky mythos.
My only issue with getting Chucky for this set is that it's a 3-inch tall doll figure,
and they make you pay full price for it.
Yeah, and I'm ridiculous. Not doing that. Yeah, and they're like, well, it has tons of hands and interchangeable heads. If there were Chucky and Tiffany in the box, it's
a set. Yeah,
I would consider it. But
see, the other one that's been a whole franchise for me that I enjoy, but I can't focus on one character is Puppet Master, because there's a whole bunch of characters.
So I was thinking about Puppet Master, but I'm also trying to think like what has any kind of what holds me.
Yeah,
it's like.
See, I think it comes down to personal choice. Mine's going to be different than yours, probably. That's why I like Pinhead, but it's not for you.
Well, and the thing is, even though Pinhead's has no relevance to me, it's almost kind of like you kind of have to go Pinhead. Yeah, just because he's iconic
and people remember him.
It's either that, and the thing. Chucky would be the go-to.
How many Pumpkinhead movies did they make? Because I remember that creature a lot, but
I want to say 3.
Yeah, they only did 3 of them. Okay, I think I only saw the first 2.
I don't know.
What about the clown from Saw?
The only issue is again the price point.
Yeah,
and then there's not a good Candyman figure out there.
Oh yeah, Candyman.
Because if there were a good Candyman, he'd be there.
Candyman's a big one. That's true.
I'm trying to think. There was one other. So I might do Pennywise. Maybe.
Oh, okay. Because they've redone him now.
I might go with the original.
The original version. Okay.
I might. That's the only thing that's holding me up is original or new.
Shoot.
I don't know.
What else?
Candyman, Pennywise, Pinhead, Leatherface, Chucky. That's at least for me, like off top.
It's for slasher stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
So I go to Creature after that, and that gets off base from slashers. So, because Pumpkinhead's not really a slasher; it's more of a creature thing.
Because I had to change what I was calling it, because I was like, my horror Mount Rushmore was like, well, no, if you go horror Mount Rushmore,
that's way broader base.
Dracula, Wolfman, and Frankenstein, Mummy,
because those have been around the longest.
But I might still do those too, depending on what I do with the space down here. But at this point, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave it be.
What about Leprechaun? I know those movies are terrible, but they're long running, and that's kind of a slasher bit too.
No, I think when they did Leprechaun in the Hood, I was like, I'm out.
Well, I mean, Jason took Manhattan, and he went into space.
Yeah, but he was already established. I think Leprechaun
went into space too, didn't he? Eventually.
Yes, eventually. Yeah. I think Leprechaun went to the Hood in the third one. I was like, okay, that's too early.
It's too early.
You can't be going to the Hood in your third one.
Yeah, Jason. When was Manhattan for Jason? Was that 4 or 5?
8.
It was okay. Yeah, he'd already been around.
You can't wrap up a trilogy going to the Hood. That's not how this works, man. It's like Jason at least waited to the 8th one. He's like, "Is it okay now?" And they're like, "Yeah, dude, just go. Can I go?" Yes, just go, motherfucker, go.
I actually like the Manhattan one because it was so funny.
I might go back and watch that one. It's just so goofy, but it's like, you know what? It's fine. Just do it. All right, let's go ahead and close this sumbitch out. We got fights to watch. Phil, where can we find you?
At Nerd Ragecast on Twitter, and whenever I pop on the show, or sometimes on Nerd Rage Radio.
So you like horror? You on there too?
Mm-hmm. So you like horror? Yeah, we're gonna be doing Cutting a Predator episode pretty soon.
Yep, I'll watch a couple of them just so I can fill some questions for y'all. Really, I'm just gonna have y'all talk though.
It's gonna be Joe and I.
I'll ask a question here and there, but just out of my own curiosity. I'll probably do the same thing I did with aliens. Like, tell me what you know. Teach me your ways.
Do not know your ways.
So, thank you, Phil, for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, dude. It's fun. It's always fun to do Marvel stuff with you.
Always a good time. Like I said, if you said, "Dude, you want to record?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, let's record." What do you want to talk about? Let's talk about Jell-O.
Hey, speaking of which, I brought new candy way to try.
I know, I'm about to get into that. Everyone else who's listening, thank you so much. As always, we do appreciate you. This shit's weird to me, but you guys keep listening. You guys like it, I guess. So I appreciate it. I like that you like it, and
it's good. People like this.
Yeah, because if you didn't, I'd still make it. I don't have Nerd Rage numbers, but I got a cult following. So thank you. I appreciate the fuck out of everyone. If y'all have any questions, concerns, always feel free to reach out to me. You can find me at Off the Mats Podcast on Instagram or bjj.wiki on Instagram as well.
You're on Twitter too, aren't you? I see you repost.
I'm gonna actually start pushing Off the Mats on Twitter a little bit more. It's easier to kind of wrangle that than
I see you on
BJJ Wiki. Because BJJ Wiki, I post a whole lot, and it's kind of tough keeping up with those 2 pages plus the Facebook pages, and there's something else.
Yeah,
something else out there.
Yeah, give at Nerd Ragecast a follow. We need the numbers on Twitter.
Yeah, please do it. If you're not doing it already, go do it. Do it. Otherwise, thank you, everybody. Y'all keep listening, and we'll keep making these shows. Thanks, y'all. Bye.